Take a slow breath in and let it out gently. Again, breathe in and breathe out. Let your shoulders settle. Let the tension in your hands go soft. Let the noise of the day grow distant. There is nothing you need to carry right now. Tonight we will rest inside a story from 1 Kings, chapter 19. The Still Small Voice. A story for anyone who has ever been exhausted, afraid, or alone. After fire and earthquake, God speaks. Not in the storm. Not in the shaking. But in a whisper. This is a story about rest after exhaustion, presence after fear, gentleness after the loud and terrible things have passed. You do not need to follow every detail. You do not need to hold on tightly. Just let the story carry you, one quiet line at a time. Let the whisper find you where you are. And as we begin, remember only this. The storm has passed. God is near. Elijah has just stood on Mount Carmel. He has called down fire from heaven in front of all the people. The false prophets of Baal have been defeated. The rain has returned to the land after years of drought. It was the greatest day of his life. He stood alone before the crowd, and God answered with fire. No one could deny what had happened. But now a message arrives. Queen Jezebel sends word. By this time tomorrow, she says, your life will be like the lives of those prophets. She means to kill him. And Elijah, the man who faced down hundreds without flinching, is afraid. Deeply afraid. Not the sharp fear of a moment, but the heavy fear that comes after you have given everything you have. He runs. He leaves his servant behind. He goes a day's journey into the wilderness, alone. The man who stood tall on the mountain now stumbles into the desert with nothing left. Sometimes the bravest people are the ones who break the hardest. Sometimes the strongest season is followed by the emptiest. Elijah has nothing left to give. And he runs. Out in the wilderness, Elijah finds a broom tree. A small, scrubby bush offering thin shade against the desert sun. He sits down beneath it. And he prays, but it is not a prayer of hope. It is enough, he says. Now, O Lord, take away my life. I am no better than my fathers. He is not angry. He is finished. The kind of tired where you cannot imagine one more step. The kind of emptiness where even faith feels like a weight too heavy to lift. And God does not scold him. God does not lecture him about his lack of courage. God does not remind him of the fire on the mountain. Instead, Elijah lies down and falls asleep. Then an angel touches him. Gently. Arise and eat, the angel says. And there beside his head is a cake baked on hot stones, and a jar of water. He eats. He drinks. And he lies down again. God's first response to Elijah's despair is not a sermon. It is bread and water and permission to sleep. Sometimes the most holy thing God offers is rest. The angel comes a second time. Again the gentle touch. "Arise and eat," the angel says, "for the journey is too great for you." The journey is too great for you. What a tender thing to say. God does not pretend Elijah is stronger than he is. God sees the distance still ahead and provides for it. Elijah eats and drinks a second time. And in the strength of that food, he rises. He walks. 40 days and 40 nights he travels. Across the desert, through the dust and silence. Step by step, sustained not by his own will but by what God placed beside him while he slept. He is walking to Horeb, the mountain of God. The same mountain where Moses once stood and saw the burning bush. The same ground where the law was given. When Elijah arrives, he finds a cave. And he goes inside. He lodges there, in the dark, in the quiet, in the deep rock of the mountain. He has come as far as his body can carry him. And now, in the stillness of that cave, he waits. Inside the cave, the word of the Lord comes to Elijah. Not a shout. Not a command. A question. "What are you doing here, Elijah?" It is the kind of question a father asks a child who has wandered far from home. Not accusation. Invitation. And Elijah pours out his heart. "I have been very zealous for the Lord, the God of hosts," he says. "The people of Israel have forsaken your covenant. They have thrown down your altars. They have killed your prophets with the sword. I, even I only, am left. And they seek my life, to take it away." Listen to the weight in those words. He is not making excuses. He is telling the truth of his exhaustion. He gave everything, and it was not enough. He stood alone, and now he feels utterly alone. And God listens. God does not interrupt. God does not correct. God lets Elijah say every word that needs to be said. Sometimes the kindest thing is simply to be heard. Then God speaks. "Go out and stand on the mountain before the Lord." And behold, the Lord is about to pass by. Elijah moves toward the mouth of the cave. And then it begins. A great and strong wind tears across the mountain. It is violent, enormous, splitting rocks and scattering stones. The kind of wind that makes the ground feel unsteady beneath your feet. But the Lord is not in the wind. After the wind, an earthquake. The mountain itself trembles. The walls of the cave shudder. The deep bones of the earth groan and shift. But the Lord is not in the earthquake. After the earthquake, a fire. Bright, consuming, roaring across the face of the rock. The kind of fire that leaves nothing unchanged. But the Lord is not in the fire. 3 displays of overwhelming power. Wind, earthquake, fire. And God is in none of them. The loud things pass. The shaking things pass. The burning things pass. And then the mountain grows very, very still. After the fire, a sound. Not loud. Not forceful. A still small voice. A gentle whisper. The Hebrew words carry the sense of a thin silence, a quiet so deep it almost hums. As if God leaned close and spoke the way you speak to someone you love who is barely awake. When Elijah hears it, he knows. He wraps his face in his cloak. And he goes out and stands at the entrance of the cave. This is the moment. Not the wind. Not the earthquake. Not the fire. God is here, in the quiet. And the voice asks again, gently, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" The same question as before, but now after the storm has cleared. God does not leave Elijah in the cave. God sends him forward with new purpose, new companions, new work to do. And God tells him something he desperately needed to hear. You are not alone. 7,000 in Israel have not bowed to Baal. 7,000 faithful hearts, unseen but real. The whisper carried more truth than the storm ever could. God is not only in the spectacular. God is in the still, small, gentle places. And that is where he meets the tired and the afraid. The wind passed. The earthquake passed. The fire passed. Then the whisper. God was in the stillness. Not in the noise. Not in the shaking. Not in the burning. In the quiet. You do not need the storm to find God's voice. You do not need to stand on a mountain in the wind. You do not need fire from heaven to know he is near. The whisper is enough. The gentle word is enough. The quiet presence is enough. Elijah was exhausted. Elijah was afraid. Elijah thought he was utterly alone. And God met him with bread, with sleep, with a whisper, and with truth. You are not alone. You have never been alone. The whisper reaches even here. The storm has passed. The whisper remains. God is near. You can rest. The mountain is quiet now. The cave is still. The voice has spoken. You are held in the same gentleness that held Elijah. The same God who brought bread to the wilderness brings rest to you now. The same whisper that reached the mouth of the cave reaches you here. The storm has passed. You do not need to run any further. You do not need to be strong any longer. You can let go. Let there be less effort now. Less inner noise. Less holding on. Your breathing can follow the rhythm of the whisper. In and out. Held and known. Quiet and safe. The storm has passed. The whisper remains. God is near. You are held. You are not alone. You can rest. You can rest. The storm has passed. The whisper remains. God is near. You are held. You are not alone. You can rest. The storm has passed. The whisper remains. God is near. You are held. You are not alone. You can rest. The storm has passed. The whisper remains. God is near. You are held. You are not alone. You can rest. The storm has passed. The whisper remains. God is near. You are held. You are not alone. You can rest. The storm has passed. The whisper remains. God is near. You are held. You are not alone. You can rest. The storm has passed. The whisper remains. God is near. You are held. You are not alone. You can rest. The storm has passed. The whisper remains. God is near. You are held. You are not alone. You can rest. The storm has passed. The whisper remains. God is near. You are held. You are not alone. You can rest.